What is up, my Whovian homies? I am the Doctor Who Kid, and today we're discussing the Star Beast. But not the one that aired on TV, because, as you may have noticed in the opening credits, the Star Beast was actually adapted from one of the very first stories from Doctor Who magazine, or as it was known back then, Doctor Who Weekly. What went on in the original comic version of this story? Well, allow me to fill you in, shall I? Originally published in Doctor Who Weekly issues 19 to 26, Doctor Who and the Star Beast follows two children, Sharon Davis and Fudge Higgins, as they discover a strange alien creature in their local town, Beep the Meep, this really adorable looking thing who claims to be being hunted by the Roth warriors. Having taken notice of Beep's crashed spaceship, the Doctor and K9 soon investigate, little realizing that they themselves are being followed by the Roth warriors. After being attacked by the warriors, whose attack ends up destroying K9, the Doctor sends the Meep with Sharon for safekeeping, only to then learn from the Roth warriors, Shrieg and Sargrox, that they are actually law enforcement officers and that they are hunting Beep the Meep because he is guilty for a series of terrible crimes. Whoops. As Shrieg and Sargrox explain, the Meeps were once perfectly adorable and pleasant as their appearance suggests, until one day when the radiation from their sun mutated them into savage beasts. Realizing his mistake, the Doctor accompanies the Roth warriors to track down Beep the Meep, only to realize that he has hypnotized Sharon and the entire rest of the town into hypnotized worker drones, thanks to the radiation of his black star drive, and he basically enlists them into fixing his spaceship. When everyone gets caught up in the star jump caused by Beep's spaceship, the Doctor uses the TARDIS to return all the hypnotized workers back to Earth. Meanwhile, the Roth warriors board Beep the Meep's spaceship and take him into custody, also returning Sharon and K9 to the Doctor for him to return to Earth later, although the Doctor notes that K9 is behaving oddly and purring like a cat for some reason. The Doctor soon vows to get Sharon home as soon as he can. However, just like a lot of classic companions, things don't quite go as planned, and Sharon basically ends up becoming a magazine-only companion for the immediate future. Now, as you've probably been able to work out, the TV broadcast of the Star Beast is actually fairly accurate to what we see. There's Beep the Meep's spaceship at a steelworks factory, people getting hypnotized by the Black Star radiation, kids finding Beep the Meep and being convinced it needs help because of how cute it is, the Roth warriors turning out to be the good guys the whole time. It's all there. The most obvious difference here, of course, is the presence of the Nobles. As this is also essentially a sequel to Doctor Who Series 4 with Donna Noble, the Noble family ends up taking a lot of the focus, with Donna's new daughter Rose essentially replacing Sharon in the narrative. And, well, the extra emotional turmoil caused by Donna's amnesia and how she should never remember the Doctor or else she'll die. Rose also being transgender ends up adding a lot of extra subtext and thematic elements to the story that weren't in the original as well. And of course, the other big differences here is that, well, Shrieg and Zargrox actually die in the TV version. And when Beep the Meep is ultimately taken away, they also give an ominously cryptic warning about some sort of boss they answer to. My money's on it being a toy maker. Oh, yeah, and Fudge is also not in this much at all, though he does still appear as a neighbour and friend to Rose. While I'm here, I feel like I should also point out just how important Sharon actually is in Doctor Who history, as her becoming a companion at the end of this story means that she is the very first black companion in the entire franchise. Of course, you can't keep a good Meep down, as Beep the Meep would end up making appearances in other stories later down the line, including an official sequel to the Star Beast, where Beep gets released from prison after 15 years due to good behaviour, and then immediately decides to return to Earth in order to get revenge on the Doctor and Fudge. By this time, Sharon had officially left the TARDIS. But the Doctor is ultimately able to defeat Beep the Meep by trapping them inside a video cassette of Lassie. Yeah. Big Finish would also take their own shot at the Meep later on, including an official audio adaptation of the Star Beast, and then they had Beep the Meep face off against the 6th Doctor in an audio story, The Ratings War, where Beep was eventually freed from the Lassie cassette, wound up in 21st century Earth, and then basically took control of a TV station in order to produce a TV show that would hypnotize the population of Earth into maiming themselves and mutilating each other. However, in this instance, the Doctor didn't even need to do anything to stop Beep the Meep's plan, as the Doctor tricks Beep the Meep into believing that he's already tampered with the broadcast, thus prompting him to go on a massive evil rant on the airwaves, not realizing that all the Doctor had done was tamper with Beep's laser gun, meaning that his evil rant was actually being broadcast on the airwaves, and everyone watching basically changed the channel before the hypnosis could have even taken effect. Also, the Beep the Meep song is an absolute bop. You should give it a listen if you're curious. The last time Beep the Meep made an appearance in the canon was going up against the 8th Doctor in Doctor Who magazine, where a comic strip saw Beep, the 8th Doctor, and his companion Izzy wind up in a parallel universe. Our universe, meaning you get to see Beep interacting with the real-life Tom Baker. This time, the Doctor's able to defeat Beep the Meep again, and Beep ends up getting it left inside a zoo. And that is it for the Star Beast. So long, folks. I've been the Doctor Who Kid, and next time we're going to discuss a little bit about Kate Stewart ahead of her return in The Giggle.